Hello children, welcome to aimsindia's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching reproduction, the generating system, part 6. In the last class we studied about the structure of flower, parts of flower, and about the pollination. Okay, so today more about the formation of gametes and the process of fertilization, seed, etc. So if you take the flower consisting of, how can you define a flower? The flower is the reproductive shoot. Okay, it is the main part. It is a modified reproductive shoot, and the flower consisting of 4 main parts. What are they? Calyx, sepals, corolla, petals, androecium, the stamens, and pistil or carpel. A carpel consisting of stigma, style, and ovary. So what is the male reproductive part of the flower? Stamens. Okay, that is the anther of the stamen produce the male gametes. What are the male gametes? Pollen grains. And what is the female reproductive part of the flower? Gynoecium or pistil. So ovary is the main female reproductive part. If the flower possesses both the male and female reproductive organs, it is a complete flower or bisexual flower. If the flower possesses any of the male or female reproductive organ, then it is a unisexual flower. Okay, so can you give examples of unisexual flowers? Yeah, papaya and gourds, that is a bottle gourd, bitter gourd. Okay, they show unisexual flowers. Okay, and what is pollination? The process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower is called pollination. If it occurs in the same flower, self pollination. If it occurs in the different flowers of same species, then it is a cross pollination. Okay, so after pollination, what are the changes occur? Let us discuss. Are you ready, children? Let us proceed. Structure of ovule. An ovule is an egg-shaped structure attached by a stalk to the inner side of the ovary. Okay, that stalk is called a funicle. Okay, depending upon the species of plant involved, an ovary may have 1, 2, even 100 ovules. At the center of each ovule, filled with food and water. The embryo sac is composed of gametophyte cells. The embryo sac composed of gametophyte cells. The majority of flowering plants have an embryo sac consisting of 7 cells and 8 nuclei. Okay, this is the embryo sac which is present in the middle. Okay, so this is the ovary, this entire one, and this is the stigma and the filament like structure, that is style, and inside the ovule. Okay, this ovule is internally contain the embryo sac. An embryo sac is made up of 7 cells. Okay, antipodals, egg cell, synergids, secondary. Let all these cells together. Okay, children. Next, the structure of ovule. The two are important discussion. One is the large central cell containing two nuclei, and these are called polar nuclei. The other cell is the cell. So out of those 7 cells, 2 are very important. One is the large central cell with 2 nuclei. Second one is the egg cell. The egg cell is located at the end of the embryo sac, closest to the opening through which the pollen tube enters. Okay, or we can say nearby the mouth of the ovule there is an egg cell. Okay, the cells on the surface of the stigma secretes a sticky nutrient fluid, contains sugars and other substances. This will help the pollen grain to germinate. Then it forms a long pollen tube. The pollen tube bears 2 nuclei. The pollen tube bears the 2 male nuclei. Soon after the tip of the pollen tube ends, okay, that embryo sac opening, that is called the pollen tube. Right. So as it enters inside the pollen tube, okay, when it enters inside the embryo sac, the end of the tube and releases the male nuclei or 2 sperms into the embryo sac. Okay. Reach the stigma, then it will produce, or it germinates to produce the tube. Tube of 2 nuclei. Okay, the pollen tube contains 2 male nuclei. These 2 male nuclei makes its entry to the pollen tube. Okay. The end of the pollen tube rupture, male nuclei. Okay. Now, what happens? One of the 2 sperms fuses with the egg zygote. Fertilization. Okay. The one of the or male nuclei fuses with the egg nucleus or female nucleus to form a zygote. By the egg cell has been fertilized, the 2 polar nuclei combine to form a single fusion nucleus, or we can also call it as secondary nucleus. Okay, the 2 polar nuclei which are present in the middle of the embryo sac, they fuse to form the fusion by the pollen tube. Second fertilization. Okay, what is the first fertilization? The fusion of sperm with the fusion nucleus and the formation of endosperm. Okay, or endosperm nucleus. Okay, the zygote will develop into embryonic plant within the ovule. The zygote develops into an embryonic plant or baby plant within the ovule. The fertilization of the fusion nucleus or secondary nucleus stimulates the formation of new tissue. What is that new tissue? Endosperm, or the nucleus which is formed by the union of the fusion nucleus and sperm results in the endosperm nucleus. It is a triploid in nature. Okay, in which the food materials are stored as development of the ovule proceeds. This endosperm fertilization, this is called fertilization phenomenon. It is the unique feature of sperms or flowering plants, the modern plants. So this is the embryo sac. The embryo sac consists which is formed by the union of two nuclei. Okay, and embryo sac a set of 7 cells and 8 nuclei. Beginning we discussed. What are those 8 cells? What are those 7 cells? 3 antipodals. Okay, 2 synergids, 1 egg cell, and 1 polar nuclei. Okay, these 2 polar nuclei to form the central cell. We can call it as central cell. Okay, so during fertilization, so stigma and this tube extends up to the micropyle region of the ovule or opening of the ovule. See here, the egg cell is the right. Immediately as soon as the pollen tube reach the ovule, then this pollen tube and ruptures to release the 2 nuclei. One of the sperm nucleus or male nucleus, whatever you may call, fuses with this egg cell, zygote, that is the fertilization. And another male nucleus or the sperm enters inside and fuses with this central cell. Okay, and result in the formation of endosperm. Okay, so this zygotic nucleus, after the fusion, it develops into an embryonic plant. Embryonic plant means baby plant in the ovule. And next, this central cell which fuses the one of the male nucleus fuses with this fusion nucleus or the polar nuclei and results in the formation of endosperm, that food as for the development of. Okay, further, the union of one sperm with the egg and the second sperm with the fusion nucleus is called double fertilization. Okay, fertilization occurs 2 times. As far as we know, the double fertilization only in the flowering plants or angiosperms. After double fertilization, the ovule increases in size rapidly as a result of endosperm tissue process and the development occur. It consists of 1 or more cotyledons and an epicotyl and a hypocotyl. Epicotyl and hypocotyl. Both the epicotyl and hypocotyl are parts of rod-like axis attached to the cotyledons. So this is very important. Epicotyl and hypocotyl come across in the germination of seed. Okay, the embryo consisting of 1 or if 1 cotyledon is present, that is called monocot. If 2 cotyledons is present, it is a dicot. Okay, and this epicotyl and hypocotyl, they are the parts of a rod-like axis attached to the cotyledons. Okay, next, the cotyledons digest and absorb the endosperm and make the stored food available for the growth of the epicotyl and hypocotyl. Beans, for example, the digest seed. This is the post-fertilization changes. In the post-fertilization change, the ovary is converted into fruit and the ovules are converted into seeds. Okay, how the seeds matured means the cotyledons just and matures into a the cotyledons become greatly involved because of stored food and the endosperm disappears completely. Okay, so many other plants, for example corn or maize, castor, okay, the endosperm tissue continues to grow as the ovule matures into a seed. So such kind of seeds are called endospermic seed. Okay, so here dicot monocotyledon present. So this is the axis, embryonal axis. This is epicotyl, hypocotyl. Okay, if you take a monocot seed, this is the maize seed. Okay, here this is axis and this is epicotyl, and hypocotyl is not visible in monocotyledon. This is the seed coat. The integumentary are converted into and endospermic seed. This is example maize. Okay. Next, after an embryo within the ovule. Form an embryo within the ovule. Develop coat. Okay. Okay. Seed. To form a fruit. Post fertilization changes. Okay, after fertilization, the ovary grows rapidly and ripens to form the fruit. Meanwhile, the other floral parts, the calyx, corolla, they may shrivel, fall off. Okay, so with floral ovary converted fall off. This produces moisture, air, light, appropriate. Okay, so you can see seed develop to a plant, then the plant mature to produce flower. The flower undergo pollination, fertilization. Fertilization results in seed. Okay, image of seed, a simple you can see the part the embryo is Okay, and again, the embryo and the shoot leaves, they are called cotyledons. Depending upon the food is inside the cotyledons or cells called the endosperm. The endosperm surrounds the embryo. Okay, in dicotyledonous plants like bean, pea, and gram, as the name suggests, two cotyledons are present in the seed, whereas one cotyledon is present in the monocotyledonous plant like is rice. The seed germination we are going to discuss now. The seed germination, in order to understand one simple activity given overnight, the they do not dry up. So open the seeds and observe the parts in it. Okay, compare with the figure given here. This groundnut seed, when it is open, two cotyledons are present, and a radicle and a plumule. Just now we have discussed. Radicle is the root apex, and plumule is the shoot apex. Okay, plumule grows into the shoot or stem, and radicle grows into the root system. Okay, this is the cotyledon. Okay, how these cotyledons are the seed young leaves of a seedling, so which helps in the preparation of the food material or provide the food for the growing seedling. Okay, actually this germination starts with germination by which the embryo becomes active, and a new plant is called germination. Okay, very simple. Becomes germination. This germination process rapid uptake of water by the study, that is imbibition. Then next, the water also helps enzymes present in the seed to become active. The enzymes digest the food stored in the seed. As a result, the seed swells up and the seed coat becomes soft. The stored food is now used up, and the radicle as well as the plumule start growing. Then what happens? The radicle first comes out of the seed coat and forms the root system. The plumule too comes out of the seed coat and becomes the first leaf. Okay, what are the conditions required for germination? Three conditions are necessary for germination. You studied in lower classes. What are they? One, water. Second one is air, that is oxygen, and the optimum temperature or favorable temperature. So water is needed so that the seed can swell up and burst open, and it is also needed for the stored food to be made soluble to feed the embryo. Then oxygen is required for a process of respiration, so enzymes become active and the respiration occur. Then favorable temperature, the temperature between 25 degrees to 35 degrees is suitable for germination. Okay, optimum temperature or favorable temperature is needed for growth, The many seeds will not germinate if the favorable temperature is not available. So the temperature ranging from 25 degrees to 35 degrees is suitable for germination. Okay, so this germination is of two types, epigeal and hypogeal germination. Okay, that will see later. Okay,